Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Indiana Esports Network, here for week number 3 of our Minecraft Bed Wars action. My name is Llama77, joined in the booth here today by the wonderful Zobi. Zobi, how you doing, and what can we expect from today's action?
Ooh, I am doing amazing. I'm finally excited to bring the spice of life, the variety of Minecraft Bed Wars back to my arsenal of esports, and no better way to do that than the Indiana Esports Network action. And speaking of what we have today, there's going to be 2 matches happening concurrently, but we will be covering the 3 teams of Northside Middle School, Bachelor Middle School, and Argos Dragons Middle School. And this is an interesting matchup because they have very, very different play styles, and there's very definitive leading force that we could see kind of get ganged up on in Bachelor Middle School, right? They've had dominant 40-plus point weeks in round 1 and round 2 versus it's been slower starts for Northside Middle School and Argos after, I would say, Northside had a pretty impressive preseason record.
Yeah, and I mean, you take Argos, a team that made a pretty deep playoff run as well. We got to see them in that Final Four last year around, so lots of big names. But as you mentioned, Bachelor is kind of the team that has stood out from everyone else. Currently 2-0 with those huge weeks, as you talk about, in weeks number 1 and weeks number 2. So giving them a chance to go even further into the positive in their point category today.
Yep, and quick reminder of the format and how Bed Wars does work. There will be 3 maps all played, 20 minutes each. It's Undergrowth, Savoy, and Riptide in that order, and there's certain points attributed to certain actions. Final kills, which is after the bed has been destroyed, will give a team 1 point. A bed destroyed is 5 points, and reminder, there's 2 of those that you can claim if you are a team. A win, which means that you've had eliminated every other player in the server along with their bed, or you're the last team standing, basically, gets 3 points, and just to ensure you're not throwing those final kills away, if you are unlucky or unsportsmanlike enough to find yourself falling off the map after your bed has been destroyed, that will actually subtract a point from your total. So as we get ready to jump into the action here, I believe on Undergrowth, I think we're just testing things. No, we are actually. We're getting this started here. We're gonna see the colors shifted up. So the north side is red, Bachelor is yellow, and Argos is green, and this is because the island position can change who your neighbors are, who your enemies are, and such in the lobby dynamics here, Llama.
Yeah, it's very exciting to see the changes of colors, but also getting to see the different strategies. As you mentioned, Bachelor does come in as this kind of overdog that's been performing really, really well. So it'd be interesting to see if Northside and Argos maybe target each other a little bit more to scrap some points up, or if they both work together for a general cause, and there goes our first casualty.
Yeah, exactly. Bachelor, you already saw them bridging to the middle island. Northside Argos having a little bit more reserved of an approach. And when you have maps or games where there's very little points won, like we've seen, especially when both Northside and Argos were in the same server, it typically means there's slower starts, there's maybe some turtling happening. And there is, I think, once you get a bed broken or some final kills on the side, some merit to turtling because then you can deny those points. But when you're looking at season-wide, not having enough points and trailing by 50 to 60 points like both of these teams are up against Bachelor, you want to have that initiative. And that's, look at Bachelor. They're already in the mid-island. They're just farming resources.
Yeah, I love that ability to go forward, not spending too much to protect their own bed, so at a little bit of danger right now if someone were to rush them forward, but they're so good about taking space. It's why they've gotten so many points throughout the season, is it's their speed, their capability, and their ability to win 1v1 duels. That's one of the big effects of getting a spot here on a varsity roster, is having the ability to win 1v2s, and then, as you see, they don't even let it be 1v1s. They generate other players, and the fire charge just barely misses.
Yeah, just trying to deny the initial diamond generator loot, but it looks like our player here, player 5, has other plans, doesn't care about the diamonds or the resources, cares for the kills, cares for the turf war of this generator island in generality here. Or maybe they're going to be the ones taking the initiative instead. This is what we mentioned. If Bachelor is that team that's kind of sandwiched between the 2 opposing sides, then you're going to see them under consistent beratements, and maybe that's what Reddit will be looking for, but for the time being, we're getting some TNT-proof glass and such. Little risky in the early stages here. Quick glass break and that's a bed gone, especially with now a mid-island connecting them to the rest of their opponents, but we'll see how it fares in the late stage.
Got to see Argos turtling up to start. Bachelor went on the aggression, and Northside sort of played it a little bit tactically. Went for that side diamond
Oh.
island. Already a diamond axe, though, in the hands of Bachelor.
A diamond axe might not matter, but the diamond sword, it definitely will. Bulldog coming in, pinched by the bow teammate defense here. I thought they might have identified an opening and got a silent but deadly approach there to target the top guns of Bachelor, but quickly overwhelmed. And it feels like right now Argos is going to be the one just farming up resources. We're already seeing the wall starting to be built, so they are a true defensive force to be reckoned with. They already have the wood and wool defense, so that diamond axe will come in handy for sure, but outside of that, then, I mean, our actions and eyes are going to be drawn to Northside and Bachelor until they realize, hey, maybe there's bigger fish to fry with Argos over there.
Absolutely just playing the patient game right now as Argos says the other two just let them fight. Getting to get more and more built up for Northside is going to be important. You can't just fight Bachelor the whole entire time. Eventually, Argos is going to come for you. So you wonder if maybe one of these teams will go for each other. But a nice defense here building up around the bed. You already mentioned the TNT-proof glass, but they're adding extra layers on top of that.
Yeah, I will say I really love when there's evident role, like, delegation on a team in Bed Wars between defense, between exploration, between resource collection, and blitzing these squads. And Bachelor feels like they're more like, again, leaning on that a very offensive angle. Northside feels like they have a good split between the two, and Argos feels like they're purely defensive right now. In the meantime, they do have at least some clay and that wool going, but all in all, it was clear weapons from the start, right? Enchanted bows, diamond swords, and Northside, again, we'll see if the, jack of all trades favors them here. Is that an Ender Pearl?
Oh, Pearl's in, should get it in time, and will get the teleport to the bottom side of the base. How far can they dig? Only one block before they get ruthlessly demolished in a 2v1.
That's where that backstab opportunity, just the communication from Northside to the defensive players on the island worked out perfectly, or that may have been disastrous. The players stuck away on top of the island. In the meantime, just trying to run away with maybe any resources collected on the middle island. Unfortunately, not going to go their way. See Yellow starting to realize, Argos is looking a little turtley here with their green turtle shell of a bed defense as they looked on from the middle island. But outside of that, it's very basic defense, just trying to maximize maybe both diamond generators here. Maybe going for the late stage bridge towards Bachelor as well. A lot of choices to go with.
And I think for Bachelor, as you mentioned, they're that team in yellow. They're that team that's kind of sandwiched in between these two other teams. So if they try to make a quick move towards Argos, I mean, Northside could be right there to chop down their bed. We've already seen their 1v1 potential, but without that extra life, without that resurrection, it can sometimes be pretty risky to go for an early play. However, Toby, I mean, we've already lost about 6 minutes of time on the time clock.
Yeah, just really, again, we mentioned with Northside and Argos being as passive as they have been in previous weeks, this could be a slow roll game if Bachelor can't find that footing like we saw attempted early on from that Ender Pearl action. But as the game does continue on, you're going to see these generators get upgraded, which means more resources, more tools, and more blitzing action from these go-getter squads like we're seeing at a Bachelor and now Northside with their newfound identity this week. But again, with them bridging to mid immediately, it's evident that Bachelor has the better equipment, the better weaponry, and that's going to allow them to have the better PvP prowess here towards this middle island. So maybe starting to pull ahead in that regard, and you already see a player with diamond armor. You can already see the turf war. They have some yellow wool down on the red bridge. We missed somehow a diamond side blitz there that evidently fell short since no beds were destroyed.
Bachelor on the receiving end, though, of two offensive looks from Northside and Argos. The question is going to be, you mentioned all that resource generation. Bachelor right now controls all of those emerald generators up top. And that is just really tough to give away. You notice it's all stone tools here from Northside. You just cannot compete against the diamond on the other side. And Bulldog's going for the rapier, only has one player to beat.
Yeah, Bulldog 3 here saw the two players get to the mid-island, jump the gun, and speaking of jump the gun, they jumped off the island. Now there's only one to go unless the mid-players get back in time, or if Player 6 can hold on and fully defend their bed, and that's exactly what they're able to do. No Bachelor, prowess to be demonstrated this time around.
You mentioned best of 3. A chance here in a 2v1 coming from behind with a Diamond Axe. Player 5, will they be able to avenge their teammate? The turnaround from 001 will be dropped to nothing. So a 1-for-1 trade here, but it's good enough from Northside to play that upwards defense, but Bachelor continues trying to assault.
Yeah, I mean, if they deal with red, their focus can fully shift towards green, but well-spent materials towards some fireballs here just for purely defense. You can't get past that even with better armor and better weapons, but in the meantime, oh, look at this. We mentioned defensive, just the fireballs are saying, you guys can't even bridge to Ireland, please. Maybe some barbecue action happening over here as well. I'm wondering if they're going to try and bridge over here, actually.
We said Bachelor is in the middle of these two, so it wouldn't be the worst idea. Unfortunately, Bachelor is kind of just watching this with bows, with fireballs, with everything, so if you're actually going to make that bridge, it's a very risky sort of play. But Argos, as you mentioned, playing very passively throughout the beginning, trying to earn themselves some points here. Bachelor in a really good spot. They're actually starting to upgrade to some diamond armor to give themselves some extra protection.
Yeah, again, a game can flip in matter of minutes. You know, somebody had noticed an opening, a massive fight breaking out, like 3 players from Red away from the island. Bulldog 2, though, about to get crunched, and that diamond armor can't save you against just Northside, who somehow might have found that exact opportune moment. You can see the fireball distraction, even assistance coming in from Argos, but a nice dent is all they will find, quickly repaired as well. And that was dangerous, but Bachelor avoid tragedy.
Nice chunk back on the fireball as well. Getting the work together on that communication, that's the most important thing. They had that spy up in the tree who was actually watching over Argos. No real panic. In the boots, they were able to get it back. Argos has built up a full wall on the outside of their base. I love it.
And the other side's clay and wood as well. So you mentioned you have to have that full armada or range of weapons and tools to get through it. But, ooh... looks like Yellow's not taking the spray to heart, right? We see some counter bow action in the kill feed there, so just trying to keep them at bay. It's just a threat, kind of a nuisance at this point, more than like, oh, they're gonna get our bed kind of mentality, which I think hurts their chances of getting this blitz towards Northside. But they have gone for more attempts than I think Northside has, so it looks like they're trying to be a little bit slower this time around. Yeah, you have infinite respawns, but if you can get again this very consistent forward progress like Bulldog 2 is trying to do, may just help them out in the long run. Or they're building a cat. No, I'm joking.
Build us all the fun designs. We would love to see it with about 10 minutes left to go. I was going to say, Northside, it's burning down a lot of time for just 2 players to sit and watch and defend. As Bachelor wastes all their time with just 1 player, it's also important to note, Bachelor, this is the only game they're going to be under the yellow color. So this is truly the best chance for Northside and Argos to pick up some huge points by 2v1ing them.
Ooh, and because they've kind of been in this cat and mouse, Tom and Jerry chase with Northside with neither quite winning out this episode, I do like the idea to go towards Argos here, but like we mentioned, the walls are only growing. I'm sure they have an unlimited supply of arrows at this point as well, so it's become super, super dangerous, not just to build this wall and face Northside, or Argos, but then get to worry about Northside finding the timing to get to an unoccupied island, or, you know, like they're right there, just stabbing you in the back while you're trying to focus on the enemy team. So again, it's a frustrating position to be in for Bachelor, and we're just kind of waiting for that aha moment, or them to have enough resources to finally break through.
We've seen in the past for Bachelor, not only their game plan in terms of patience, but over the whole day. If they say we're only going to be in the middle 1 of 3 times, we're okay just to wait until the final 5 minutes, maybe go for a blitz or 2, but overall play super defensive such that if nobody earns any points and it's a stalemate, we can bank on that 2nd and 3rd map where we can truly shine, where we can play those 1v1s and play those side angles. However, it can get pretty crazy pretty quickly, especially if Argos has such a volatile base to be built already.
Let's see a little spy attempting to sneak up here. It's actually a TNT blitz out of Northside. They've had the distraction from mid. The bed is exposed. Player 5 just has to make their way around, but they blown themselves up. And just like that, in the nick of time, Bachelor is able to avoid another tragedy. That's the kind of coordination, that's the kind of mistake that can cost you dearly. And somehow Northside just a little too close to that TNT blow.
Northside once more, though. We'll see if they can hide the nameplate, adversing from this left side look. Bachelor is on the repair, and once again, the re-entrance with the chain armor. All crouched away. They don't even know. If you escape to go back on offense, it could be Northside with a huge early set of points.
Oh,
Aw.
I liked the silent approach, but spotted and now being hunted back across the bridge and won't even make it back to your own island. But meantime, they realize, okay, TNT's a little dangerous. Let's get the glass going for the time being. We get to explore the rest of the squads and how they're doing here just a little bit. Again, because they're trying to patch up their own island here, not expecting Bachelor to go on the offensive, but yeah, there it is. Just pushing them off their diamond island, neutralizing the threat so they can focus on rebuilding right before they can go back on the attack. And in the meantime, can we get an Argos check just to see how their fortress is coming along? Here we go. Very nice, very nice.
Built up to the brim. They've got the glass stacked up and a couple layers deep as well. So Argos in a great spot with 6 minutes left to go. Still no points on the board from anybody. Again, no first bed destroyed yet, and that can put you on your final life. All it takes is one good push. Argos looking left. They still haven't built a bridge, to connect over to Bachelor's Island, but they're definitely watching and just kind of pelting them, disguising where they truly want to go.
Yeah, at this point, I would maybe, if I'm Bachelor, take a page out of... Ooh, what just happened? We missed it! That's what I said. The tide can shift in a moment's notice, and I want to say it had to be from Enderpearl because I see no direct bridges to the Grey Island. And that's 5 points for Bachelor. They're in the back. They're staring them down. Like, yeah, I did that.
Sneaky side look with a yellow replacement on the blocks, and a nice early set of points from Bachelor. Their reserved aggression pays off. And now Argos will all be on their last lives. Points available, 4 in total for every player that Argos drops.
Oh, but in the meantime, Bachelor, like you said, in a moment's notice, you go from breaking beds to having yours broken. I mean, I don't even know what happened there either. I mean, obviously there was a few players over towards green probably starting to dart for those final kills. Again, this is a team that's had like perfect maps before, right?
Wow.
So they know what it's like to fully kill every single enemy, and now they're the ones without a bed. You can see it was just a frontal assault, just found the proper timing here, and now Northside, yeah, at this point, take the gamble, go for the final kills. You have unlimited lives while your bed is still online, and Bachelor and Argos are trying to avoid just dying, and I'm hoping we get to see them all just kind of like group up and go for a final assault towards Northside to see what happens. But in the meantime, not quite sure who found the first green player or if they fell off, but we'll have to wait and see who got that point.
Unfortunately for this player from Bachelor, they're in a really awkward spot on their last life inside the Argos
That is
captivity.
true. That is so unfortunate.
What do you even do here? I mean, they're just watching and waiting. Maybe Northside can come in and swoop and do some damage, but at this point, you mentioned it for Northside, you've got to go all out. Your bed is still alive. You've got chance to earn all these extra points, and it was a straight-up trade, so for Bachelor, they're now going to get focused down. Oh, the damage on the 1v1 feels good.
Yeah, if this yellow player is able to find any of these Argos players, that is huge, right? Because right now, depending on where that first green player was, yeah, Bachelor now has a confirmed 6 point to Northside's 5. We're still waiting to see where that first green player's death came from. If they fell off the map, that'd be -1, actually, to the side of Argos. Otherwise, it could be a Northside or Bachelor point as well. But Esports 2 saying, you've killed too many of our teammates. I'm not having it anymore. And this is where those upgrades come in clutch. You may be able to go for the team wipe at this point if you're Bulldog 03, and at this point you've also got access to a generator, and because of that, look where the final green person has to seclude themselves on the generator island here, just hoping to get a kill on a rogue Bachelor person who's also down on their last life.
4 yellow players left to go for Bachelor. Only one single Argos player literally trapped on an island, and little do they know, there's another player searching for them straight from behind. Bachelor looking to finish them off.
No.
A slice of the sword to take them off the edge. And Argos is eliminated from map 1.
And that will be with 0 or -1 points. We will get a confirmation when the final count is conducted because we don't know if that first player fell off the map or if they were killed by an opposing team. But right now, that does put Bachelor at 8 points confirmed no matter what, versus Northside is at 5, maybe 6 points right now if that green player did fall to them in a rogue attempt. But yeah, this is the difficult situation. You now have players distributed right across the green and yellow island. You're going to have consistent pressure out of Northside because one mistake, one block broken, one fireball goes your way, and that's another north side point. But I will point out as well, Bachelor, maybe it is this middle island that's just cursed because they always have a slow map. It's usually been that map 3, and I thought it was just Riptide difficulties, but maybe that's just how the cookie has crumbled, and this is that slow point versus they'll have double-digit games the next 2. But for the time being, Bulldog 2 trying to repair this to give their team a way out, and the support of the bow spam as well. Player 6 is not having any of it.
I mean, this is so tough for Northside. Like, you have unlimited lives, but you're trailing in this first map after Bachelor's lone efforts to take down the bed of Argos succeeded. And then, I mean, talk about the solo efforts of 003 with the opportunity to get all those takedowns 1, 2, 3 in a row, and coming from behind even take down that last one. For Northside, it feels like you've got to go all out, but you've only got 90 seconds, and you definitely don't want to give Bachelor a chance to take your bed.
Ooh, and once again, we may see someone just slip through the net, and this could be what defines the game. Plays like this, knocking off a player off the map when there's literally mere points separating these two teams on this map. One grandstand from player 4. Nice combos going in. Bulldog 2 with better equipment, though. A Juggernaut with the diamond armor and the gapples to get back up to full HP so nobody else from Northside can capitalize. And just like that, Bachelor's going to hold on at least to 3 players. And with a minute left, not quite sure if anybody's going to make it back to the island for another assault attempt.
Interesting, Northside sending more players straight up, but Bachelor hiding their players right now to try and survive as many points as possible to limit the amount of points they give over to Northside. But there's always a chance. I mean, there is still some points from taking the bed up and available, but another Slay comes down and another Bachelor player is going to be taking down. Bulldog is still hiding out in Argos's gem mine.
And that's what's so interesting about this game, right? Even though Northside still has a bed, because Bachelor took the risk to not just break the green bed, but fully team wipe it, credit to that player that is now, right, a loner over there, they're actually going to win this map, right? 10 seconds to go, no hopes of getting another kill. I believe, if my math is correct, it will be 9 points to Bachelor and only 6 to Northside, even though it says they won by map standards by being the only one with a bed left in the points department. Yeah, it's still going to be Bachelor. Not as flashy as perfect maps or double digits like they're used to, but a great way to salvage, and that's, again, that balance between aggression and turtling that you want to go for.
I think especially for Bachelor, that's a huge map. Like you mentioned, they usually have 1 or 2 slower starts. That was the only map they're going to be sandwiched in between both other 2 teams. So I'd expect, especially going here into map number 2, they are going to amp up the speed. They're going to go straight either for their neighbors beside them, or so often we see Bachelor let the 2 other teams get entangled with each other and then just shoot straight across to take down their opponents horizontally.
Well, that's map 1 of 3 done so far, so still opportunities for Argos to come back, still opportunities for Bachelor and Northside to gain even more points in the regular season, because reminder, it's cumulative, round to round over this entire main season. And I mean, this main season's only brought possible thanks to some of our amazing sponsors. One of those being Zotac. We want to give a huge shout out to them for supporting Scholastic Esports in Indiana. You can go ahead and show your appreciation to Zotac Gaming by giving them a shout out on social media or joining their community on Discord. Make sure you don't forget to use the hashtag powered by Zotac or Zotac USA when you post or engage with them. They love to see it.
Awesome, and huge shout out there to Zotac, and definitely couldn't do it without them. And this broadcast is part of LandFest Scholastic Esports program, a program that supports this league and many others. Since launching, LandFest has delivered over 300 broadcasts to Scholastic leagues in Washington and Indiana. We provide these broadcasts free of charge to the league, schools, and teams we cover, so your generous donations do make this possible. Every $200 raised covers the operating costs for 1 regular season broadcast. Make sure to check out all of the donations and scan to donate today.
And I'm sure you've been wondering how I've been crunching all the numbers, keeping track of all these map scores across the first 2 weeks that we weren't on the broadcast. And that's thanks to the amazing, tournament and organization platform known as League OS Portal, right? Not only does, again, it allow you to manage your tournaments, your prospect profiles, and your stats to automatically update, but you can also search for hundreds of collegiate esports programs and opportunities. There's scholarships for players, shoutcasters, and more. So make sure to list all of your talents and connect with college coaches that are searching for players like you today. It's free, so don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg and level up your future.
Always a chance to explore more opportunities. Give a huge thanks out to League OS Portal and all that they do as we're gearing up for map number 2, Bachelor. A great map number 1 with some extra bed destroyal points and then some finishes off. Argos, I think, is the interesting wrench into the plan of both these other two teams, as they're the team that didn't really earn any points going through map number 1.
Yeah.
So sometimes, Zoe, that makes a team even more dangerous.
Yeah, you realize, hey, we're slacking a little bit and maybe we need to pull ahead. And I will say there's been, again, I think this could also just be an Argos strategy just to get the first map out of the way, because both round 1 and round 2, they had 0 points on map 1. And then it was maps 2 and 3 where they were able to find their footing, find their success, and maybe go out on their own. So maybe it is just, we don't like Undergrowth that much. Or, yeah, maybe we want to get our footing, see where Bachelor and Northside are going to be at, so we know what we're playing up against. And now that you're a few weeks in as well, you've played against these teams at least once, maybe not at the same time. And I'm curious, and do you know if Argos is going to be in the middle or not this time around? Because the colors that you see up top should be getting swapped around here in a minute.
Yeah, it looks like Argos is going to stay on green, actually, for this second one around. Bachelor are going to basically swap up with Northside, so it should be Northside of the middle with Bachelor and Argos beside them. But that's all to be said, and we've got to double check just to make sure all the teams get in the right spot.
Yeah, that'll be, I think, huge then for Bachelor, right? We mentioned how when you're in that middle, you're consistently pressured, and with Northside being that team that is narrowly like nipping at the heels of Bachelor, that's where you start to see, okay, big picture gameplay and strategies. Like, yeah, there's in-game strategies in terms of how to rush beds, how to defend your islands, but then you can play the points game, which is one of my favorite games to play. And I'm sure that's what the coaches could be talking about, as they are the ones tracking these scores live in game. And you might be like, hey guys, ignore Argos right now. They have 0 points. They're turtling. They don't matter until we deal with Northside. Get them off the table. Don't let them earn any more points, and then go hard on Argos. Because Argos doesn't feel like after map 1, right? They're fighting back.
Yeah, they are going to have to do a lot of work if they want to win here today. And, maybe they go out of map number 2 and say, you know what, let's completely reverse our strategy. Turtling didn't really work. It got us taken down early. Let's just target Bachelor first and foremost. And maybe Northside joins them because of the shorter amount of points that they have. So it's going to be an interesting chess match between these teams. And for both Argos and Northside, they actually entered this week 1-1. So it's a big week to try and pick up a win, and they're facing familiar foes, but you've got to walk away with some strategy changes as the day goes on.
Oh, absolutely. And this map, I feel like, it's a little bit close quarters. I would say this, and then as well as the next once we get to Riptide. So definitely, I think that's going to be a little bit at play here. I feel like there's also less, verticality on this map. Yeah, you may have those diamond generators up the pillars, but I feel like you don't have to worry as much. We talked about the Asians hiding in the trees and such. Like, yeah, you have these towers you can climb up into, but I feel like that's only really going to come into effect when the beds are destroyed and you might need to just hide out and try to wait down the timer.
Yeah, it feels more of like a hiding tool, or unless you're a very skilled archer, to lob some extra projectiles over towards your opponents. And it's a very open, a very wide area. And if the scores are correct at the top of the screen, Bachelor confirmed 9 points off of that first game, with Northside earning 6. Argos couldn't break anything, but it was that early bed destroyal. And then honestly, Bachelor just being able to rip through the rest of their players who was stuck inside their bed fortress. And what a way to just secure themselves some extra points on top of it in a bad scenario to work their way out of it.
Absolutely. And we have the colors swapped up, which also means that we're likely to be rolling into map 2 here sooner rather than later. Again, just take your downtime, between maps, and coach probably get some words in with the players here as well. But I'm gonna have to start remembering these numbers, right? To keep an eye on who was successful, who was able to hold their own, who's getting these bed breaks. It's the only thing difficult when they are so anonymous, so secretive.
Yeah, don't want to necessarily show off their customization style, but definitely have got the names to match the school, which is also cool to see, just representing that school pride. Getting to see the colors switch up once again here as we're getting prepped and ready to go for map number 2, and here we go. Looks like we're getting ready for map number 2.
All right, let's go, Savoy, right? You've got to defend your castle from a siege here. We mentioned what the stakes are here, right? What the idea might be for Bachelor as well, since Northside is that vulnerable team this map sandwiched between Argos and Bachelor here. We'll see if they have the same strategy map to map as well. If you reminder, Bachelor bridges to mid immediately, leaves their bed a bit vulnerable. Northside has nice balance, I'd say, in that regard. They don't bridge out until they have a basic defense going. And Argos like to say on their island, maybe bridge to a diamond generator or 2, but never connect with the others, because that is a breach of security. But looks like Northside here maybe does have other plans.
We want to amp up the speed a little bit in this map. Got to see Bachelor really switch things up, and again, Bachelor in the red, Northside in the yellow, Argos going to be in the green.
Bachelor, yep. I was about to say, the scoreboard switched back and then switched back, so we are good. It is Bachelor still with the aggressive middle bridging. Argos still turtling, and yeah, Northside, they do like the diamond generator approach early on. And I mean, this approach, it just gives it gives Bachelor such strong weapons, like you mentioned, from the start. And it's interesting that they do invest into that, right? Instead of, TNT, Blitz, pearls and such. They want that advantage, so that if they maybe do have a little bit of shortcoming or get into a tricky situation like we saw, you stuck on an island, you have the resources to defend yourself. But look at this! This is the danger! Your bed is undefended! There's not even a single block!
Oh, no. Oh, it's the classic trope of video games. You've just got to look up, and the offense is coming to attack. Oh, Bachelor on the hunt here. They've got a chance to destroy it, and player 4 at least fully covers it. A little do they know there's 2 players waiting to jump straight on them. And boy, nobody has noticed yet. Finally, they're going to look up, but it might be too late.
Do they have TNT? Do they have a pickaxe to get their way through this fight? I mean, we're seeing them just stop and hand some resources off. He's like, okay, I'm gonna take the risk. I'm gonna go for it. Get back to base with those ever important resources. Pass them off to the third person. This feels like it's a TNT drop like aspect here. If I were to gamble, there's no reason otherwise to be bridging up this high unless you're connecting to the top, which is also, I'd say, an approach.
Yeah, that's an interesting kind of wrinkle that the castles do add, and you know what they say, no more patience. It's time to send it. Fireball straight to the lower structure, and then a build-up on the side blocks. It's interesting, while this is happening, Argos gets free reign. We saw they were turtling, but this might be a chance for them to walk out, grab some resources. Player 3 knocked off their castle. Huge
fall damage there. Nicely done. And I thought that was smart from player 3, and you don't want them to have all this space, all this control on this bridge, and it's too early stage as well to not have a decent supply of fireballs either. Right now, they're just trying to set the groundwork, and then someone's going to drop down, be that distraction player while the other goes directly for the bed. That is my prediction. And here it comes, the moment of reckoning, and that's exactly what you want to do, draw those players off, and then where was the second one? There was a disconnect, a miscommunication.
Oh man, just couldn't get connected up to the top tower in time, and they'll save one player. They've got that connection, though, so they can bring back players from spawn and try and go as quick as possible. Bachelor built a mound on top of their bed as well, so fully furnished up and ready to go. And again, Northside is not generating as much resources as they like because they're stuck 3 players on defense. Wait
a minute. Are you see what I'm seeing? I think I see Argos bridge to middle. Yeah, look at this. I wonder where that player is. I saw them towards the red island. Maybe we're thinking of, that blitz attempt while the red players are focused so much on Northside. We mentioned that was a possible opportunity, but this also just looks like maybe Argos Esports 2 is scoping things out for the time being, seeing what the others are like. And in the meantime, like you mentioned, this bridge just gives consistent access here to Broad, to Braid, and they just want to go for Northside again, the biggest threat in the server alongside themselves at the moment. The gap's still going. That's an iron pickaxe. Oh, no.
You know, the drop timing is coming in soon. Argos is there as well, just kind of watching over what is all happening throughout this one. And a chance to go in is now. They're dropping in. They've got the first destruction. The bed is exposed, but both players die. Northside makes a successful defense.
There we go, just keeping track of where that singular player is. And in the meantime, the players that have been running just defense and reconnaissance around the middle island have been farming up the emeralds. You know, you got the diamonds. I did see an opportunity there, right? 2 players were away from the Bachelor main island. Argos, though, they had 2 players on the mid island, could have gone for that little blitz attempt, but did not. And we're seeing that similar just fortification here on the Argos island in the meantime. I think that's the idea. The player with the diamond armor is your island defender, so you can leave it a little bit more vulnerable, like one player there maybe, and they can just strong hand their way, you know, a 1v3. But Northside, with this brief kind of moment of respite that Bachelor has given them, maybe worried now about an Argos attempt, they're going to take the chance to get some of these mid resources. We'll see if it lends them to a better future.
I'll give them some time to at least build up that resource set that they really have been denied for 6 minutes in total. Argos comes in and one-taps one of the Northside players that was looking to encroach too far. As you predicted, Argos looking to go in a little bit of the offensive against Bachelor, but look at that absolute mound that's on top of their bed.
This just feels like they're like, these emeralds are ours. Stay away. No more access to the Yellow Island. Actually, but now the regroup, yeah, this feels less like, okay, mid-island is ours. This feels like they want to have a game plan going. But honestly, if I'm Northside and I see these 3 players here, I'm like, wait a minute. Green's deserted. I should just use their bridge to get over. But unfortunately, because of, that, I'd say that bed break scare, they've had 4 just kind of staying on the island for the time being. And it, this is where the action definitely is. Bachelor need a breakthrough on this Argos. We'll call it a checkpoint, right? They're just like you can't get through here.
I like the fake bed cavern as well. We'll see if it does work against them. If they attack from the front side, can get an easier dive through. But for Bachelor, they play offense for the first 6 or so minutes, and now those diamond generators are upgraded to tier 2, so even more resource possibility. And they're going to jump the one Argos member. 2v1 works out. They're getting back control, and we've got a full 3-team skirmish.
This is the first time we've seen them all just duking it out turf war style for this middle island, but because there was enough damage done against the green player, against the Argos player, it's a clean sweep on the remaining player from that Bachelor individual with more, better armor, a better sword, and in the meantime, I did like this, right? If you notice, Bachelor decided to bridge to the side island just because Argos was consistently kind of just threatening their mid-bridge. They needed an access point or a distraction. Look at this. They're on the bed. Oh.
That was a really nice fireball to cut the skyline jump off, and ends up getting just one piece of the layering outside the bed. Not enough to fully take it down. Diamond Axe upgrade here for Northside. Got some good resources as Argos is looking for something of their own. They take a kill first, jumped in a 2v1, and slowly eating away at this base. Argos is gonna be cut down, trapped inside, but a good opportunity to dig further in.
Yeah, that is one method, right? You get into the bed, you try to turtle, you try to hope they didn't see you and they forget that you're there, so you don't have to worry about breaking further and looking for that bed, especially when this defense is as big as it is. But you focus so much on Bachelor, do you expect Argos just scaling up off of your own bridge? Yeah, it feels like Northside is doing a really good job with communication, right? Even when there was that player coming from the top island, even when there was a distraction on the side island, they were there ready to handle anybody that was coming for their island, and that's where we're seeing how well-rounded Northside is. And, 11 minutes. What was the time at when we had like almost simultaneous bed breaks last time around?
It was like 6 or 7 minutes. I felt like it was towards the end, but I don't know. It could be wrong. Maybe it was earlier because of all that late game action in the mind. For Northside, this is such an important map. You look at the standings right now, trailing by 3. They played it clean. They're in between 2 teams. This is where we said Bachelor had a really tough map number 1 because they were the team in the middle. Argos with a chance to go forward and seeing the player drop off the edge, just chopping to deliver, and this kill could end them with a bed, but boy, 008 ends up winning a 1v1 to save the day.
Yeah, that empty cavern definitely helping them out into that regard, kind of defending now from said cavern instead. deciding, okay, they're not going to fall for that trick again, but all in all, it also felt like they had an advantage there, that lower ground, that kind of kill cap, but they're tired of Argos. Argos has been just solely focusing Bachelor as the top team to beat, so they're going to suit the mid-island. I expected them to convert it into an attack, but gotta gap up first and then go back on the charge.
It was a triple takedown there by Bulldog 02, and Bachelor, again, one of the reasons they are so good is their solo efforts, the chances to really push themselves back into a further lead. You mentioned multiple weeks where they've had so many points, and a sneak up top once again. Bachelor has aerial, and they've got the watch in this Argos single player. They're trapped in between a sandwich. They win the first, and they escape. Bachelor has to be so careful here. The jump is there. The equipment is good enough, and Bachelor saves the day once again.
Was smart, though, I think, to try and knock them off the island so you could then hold yourself up in the bed defense, but fortunately, yeah, just winning that engagement. And I thought Northside was going to try and play the sneaky approach, right? They see Argos rushing Bachelor. Bachelor has to handle it. Maybe they were going to sneak onto the Argos island, but all they really wanted was, yeah, the resource management, take out the Bachelor Juggernaut with that diamond armor, get access to these generators, and now, that's exactly what they're going for from Argos here. Similar attempt.
3v1 and still winning. It has got to be crazy for Bulldog 04. Puts them on the run and still takes a 1-for-1. But a drop of their final player off the edge puts Argos and Northside both in a full sprint here towards the Bachelor base. It's Esports 2 who finds himself on the bridge in the sky, but backs up for some reinforcements. It's now a 2v1, but instead, it's a nice takedown. Argos is pushing the effort.
Yeah, but then another defender just immediately to replace them. No opportunity here. Just trying to, again, wait for maybe the reinforcements, the response to come through. Playing around this bridge in the sky. And I think I saw some support, aerial support with a fireball come through, but it's still not enough. The defenders, the PvPers, and the server Bachelor hold down the fort once again.
8.5 minutes left to go here. No points earned quite yet in this game. All 3 beds still alive. Argos there. Nice strategy of anchoring down.
Oh, okay. Are they going for 4? Wait a minute. Okay, they are going to leave a defender. I was curious, to say the least. It is dangerous, I'd say, to have just the wool defense. You know, a few fireballs and may go south. But again, it feels like they're kind of being overlooked at this point, underestimated maybe. And no one has taken that opportunity to slip the net and challenge Argos. So speaking of slipping the net, the focus has been on mid. Focus has been on the green players. Someone has slipped by. They get the crouch down. Oh, they don't know they're there.
And Argos is attacking from the front side, so why would they turn around? They don't need to look behind. They're all focused forward, and they've got the TNT in hand. The question is going to be, Argos still only has 1 player there. As soon as you light that TNT, they're going to know you're there, and that's probably not going to be enough to just chunk straight through. You're going to need help. Here comes Argos. It's the perfect storm here for Northside. The first play of Argos goes down. The second is chopped to bits, and now they'll go, but immediately seen away. The pickaxe try. The TNT won't even be lit in time. Bachelor, their defense works again.
Oh, just super, super unfortunate there. Was waiting for the opportune time and misses it there. Just spotted out, handled right after they handled the Argos assault, and as a result, it's kind of back to square one, right? Didn't even get to put that TNT down, so a quick repair for Bachelor, prepare for the next wave up against Argos, and yeah, this is just how the mentality in the game goes. It's unfortunate that Bachelor went from being in the middle to then being the top, like, in points, right? Because now there's multiple reasons for this team to be targeted.
They're in the lead by 2 now for Northside, just on this aggression from the one side. Argos is saying, we'll send it up to the sky and see if we can't make a fun play. Bachelor says, we'll match you. We've got the bricks to do it as well. A chance here, though, for Argos to put some points on the board. Being at 0 makes them dangerous as, not watching from behind. Bachelor just gets a few backstabs in. They're okay to play the defense game. They're the ones in the lead.
Here we go. Let's go. Okay. Just looking out again to handle this. Now, this feels more stalematy than our first map was. I'm not gonna lie to you, Llama.
Oh, it definitely does. I mean, 6 minutes left to for defense, and you know, this stalemate, I think it only really poorly affects Argos, who still is sitting at 0 trying to search for those first points. All it takes is one bed and a couple of final kills for them to be able to generate some offense and generate some points on the board, but there's only 5.5 minutes left to go here in map 2.
Yeah. Again, a bed break at the last second would give you a really comfortable lead, I'd say, going into the final map here. So that's when you may, again, like, redelegate the roles, maybe kind of just abandon all hopes of defending, but so you don't have to abandon hopes of defending when the bed has been destroyed. Finally, the resource management from Northside comes through. Insane Diamond Armor Siege here coming in, and now they are hunting down these players that just broke their bed, and he's gonna get out pretty much unscathed. That is huge for Bachelor up against Northside, who really was the one that was their major contest here. And look at this, the backstab for another final kill is in the making.
Oh, player 3 just needs to turn around, and with the pit right outside of him, Bachelor is going to chase him down. A 1v1 fight with the diamond boots here down low earns an extra elimination for Bachelor. Now, importantly, Northside actually fell one of their players out of the world. Again, that's a -1. Argos trying to earn what points they can, but now Bachelor pretty much has a straight up 1v1, bed destroyed.
Oh. There we go. It's just, this is what we see. Bachelor, right, just is able to pull ahead in the final moments. This is how they have such dominant, near flawless games, and right now they are on track for one. They don't let these players slip through the cracks, and just like that, wow. And we thought that was going to be a stalemate, perhaps. And again, that's Bed Wars. It can change at a moment's notice, and you don't expect it.
Just a single breath. That's all it takes. Just a single blink. And Bachelor was able to go on the aggression. Some great bed destroyals, and then getting all those extra final eliminations. Argos looks to be on the board. Oh boy, another just consistent performance, and that patient defense, I think, from Bachelor really netted them just so much space. Northside were at a lack of resources for like so long. It was like 6 minutes they were stuck in their own base just watching Bachelor siege and siege them, and that affects your late game. Bachelor is able to play the defense, play smartly, and mitigate everything that Argos and Northside wanted to throw at them.
There we go. And in the meantime, again, Argos on the board from a nice final kill there. Sure, just getting caught in the crossfire, and we get a little kill feed check just to track the action. Yellow bed destroyed by red. Where was the green bed? We're looking for it. Green's bed was destroyed by yellow, so yep, that's 5 points apiece. That would put Northside at least at 12. And then that would put Bachelor, we're doing the math, guys. We're doing the math. And then Bachelor was starting at 9, and they would jump to 14 at least. And that is before any of these final kills, right? And yeah. I believe Bachelor full swept yellow, right? Like, or no, they couldn't have, because Argos got a point.
I think they got 2. Northside had 1 jump off, and Argos got the other one. If my math
so
is
there's
correct.
The -1 to 11. It's just the action's so fast, you can't even see it.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is, and it exploded, like you mentioned, where it was all calm for 15 minutes, and then one mistake, one throw, you could say, and Bachelor threw themselves into the ring. For Northside, though, I really like that decision. Your bed gets destroyed, and you completely go target Argos. You're like, we're going to pick up some points no matter what. We'll get the chance, and Argos' kind of wall defense, it's been nice visually, but unfortunately, it's really hard to look back from the mid-island to actually see if someone is taking your base, and I think back-to-back maps, it's kind of shot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, and I do feel like for Savoy, that's definitely, I feel like, more of an issue than maps like Undergrowth and Riptide. I feel like here you have a lot deeper sightlines. You can kind of see if anybody's rushing your bed, as long as your render distance is up high enough, of course. And so I think that'll help them a little bit in that regard, but this is going to be difficult, right? This is the map where Argos, right, is going to be in the middle, right? So, because I believe the way it's fair is each team has to be in the middle once, basically, and they just trade out so that you are under that equal pressure, because we've seen how, again, it can really damage your game. And as a result, this week feels kind of like a foregone conclusion for them. Maybe we'll see them go all out and be that mischief managed team like they tried to be in the early stage, but it really is going to come down to Northside and Bachelor. I mean, again, if you get both beds here, that could be north
Spy
side, right?
attempting to sneak
Running
up
away
here.
with things.
It's actually a TNT blitz out of north side.
Oh, and
They
here
found
we get the
distraction
replays
from
of
it.
some
The
of
bed is
these
exposed.
kills, right?
Player
And these
finds his way
attempts,
to-
I should say, towards islands. The defense, right? As it mounted.
Yeah, that was just crazy. 2 TNTs and doesn't get the blow up on the bed. I think Northside and Bachelor have really showed that they can play the defense through the early game, but it was the mounting pressure of Bachelor. Again, look at the time clock. They're still playing
There it is.
defense 5 minutes into it and just almost getting towards it. That one single block. Bachelor really have a prowess in their offense that exudes everything else here in maps.
Yeah, and this was cool as well to finally see them leave their shell from Argos here, and this massive mid-fight unfolds. They're understanding the importance of these emeralds, right? In terms of the diamond armor, in terms of the better weaponry, and finally get the scoreboard, get everybody in lobby. Hopefully, maybe we'll see if the colors get swapped over at all on this map, but for now, just get to take in Riptide. I love how it's like different themes for each map, you know?
I really love it, and it's really, like you mentioned, we go from kind of a mid-range map to a small map to a really big map with so many sight lines, so many creative moves, but also what this map really doesn't have like the other ones do is verticality. This is mostly like a flat, straight-up horizontal map, where if you're going to go straight onto somebody, you have to find creative angles to really approach, from the boats that float in the air to those anchor islands that sit on the flanks of each of the bed ships. So it's going to be interesting for Argos. As you mentioned, they don't have a lot of points going here into map 3, but they could still be a thorn into the side of these other two teams. And eventually, what this regular season is all about is practice for those eventual playoffs.
That's very, very true. Heavy seeding implications, but we're going to check and confirm the colors. I believe Northside is yellow no matter what, but I believe Bachelor and Argos may be swapping. So that, again, that middle team is different. And I think that it was only really proven by the fact that Argos was first to mid. Or sorry, the green was first to mid, right? So, and that's very Bachelor-esque, not Argos-esque. But we'll get further confirmation from production here in a moment.
We'll get confirmation, as you mentioned, on
Oh.
the League West page. That's what it says. We'll see what the jump looks like here as the nice duel between red and green. The send back, and
There
you
it
know
is.
what? Yeah, Bachelor in green. There you go. 19 for the green team right now. Northside will be in yellow and Argos in red. They're trying to bunker up. But again, Bachelor already has so much space towards the middle portion of the map.
I like this early target out of Bachelor towards Argos, right? They were just kind of a thorn in your side, right? They weren't really a threat, it felt like, on the previous map, but they were definitely keeping you at bay, thwarting your efforts up against Northside. But this could be the exact opportunity that Northside was looking for, right? You were chasing back Bachelor, and they were looking for that opportunity to get through, and unfortunately, it is a clean sweep, it looks like, for Argos towards the mid-island, unless Bachelor has something to say about it. It's one player remaining for each.
Oh boy, the 1v1 to finalize it up. The Bulldogs rip a headshot off of player 4 from Northside, and now is back on the run trying to pop that golden apple, but gets delayed in time, and his teammate just watches him die, and then gets taken down himself. Northside showing they can play some PvP.
Oh, and there it is. This is, I think, the most confrontation-heavy map we have had just yet. And again, we kind of expected this based off previous weeks, seeing how the scores just ramped up as the game progressed. And this also could be why we have seen previously, again, teams like Northside usually end on 0 points. Teams like Argos usually step up, and Bachelor usually are pretty stable throughout, at least getting a few points here and there. But and with all this chaos, it keeps hard, like we said, to track where players are, who they're attacking, and when. And I feel like in a moment's notice, a bed could be destroyed on the opposite side of the map. While, yeah, you have a heavy fight here between red and green.
Bachelor under a lot of pressure right now. Both Argos and Northside have said, we're going to try and full send it. You're the team in the lead. You're up by 8 points right now. So getting that group together, getting that damage is nice. But again, as you mentioned, it just allows Bachelor a chance to escape out, slip to one of those side islands, and maybe take the extra points that comes with deleting an opposing bed. And unlike the last map, there's not a lot of places to hide in the actual base. So if you're trying to get in, you've got to find a very creative way to go. Bachelor wants to get in control of this mid-island.
Oh, there we go. Just consistent defense, finally winning the turf war, pushing these players back just a little bit. But Argos, they are looking to fight. They've been silent thus far. Worse equipment in terms of that wooden sword, but the Gapple trying to pave the difference. But it's the Bulldog knockback there that is able to just keep things back in Bachelor's control. They've been always winning the Emerald farming game, it feels like, this day, this round. And we're seeing that here again have pretty stark effect time and time again.
It just helps out their equipment and sort of enhances already what is their very great PvP mentality. For Bachelor, we've talked rather about their 40-point weeks in the past, but it's the ability to play consistently and the ability to win that's put them in such a position to once again look for beds. They're hiding out one behind the bricks with that nameplate hiding because they are crouched. It's a great idea because if Northside sends everybody to the very visual Bachelor players on the other side, it opens up a chance to take that bed.
The thing is, Northside Bachelor, they always have one player pretty much permanently on their island. Argos, I think, is the only one that takes those risks of fully abandoning their ship, in this case, over on Riptide. And we'll get to see if they continue that streak, that kind of chance opportunity that we saw develop. Really, it was just in the last map, right? They've had completely different looks map to map, and honestly, it's refreshing, to say the least. It's better than the complete turtling approach, but all in all, looking like they have a good, strong bed defense. That'll buy them a little bit more time if they decide to do so, but in the meantime, it feels like we have a chase over towards the Bachelor Island, but they've since been sandwiched. The TNT, though, that's gonna do so much damage. Is that the bed exposed? I can't tell.
I think there's one little sunlight array reaching through, and the bed not exposed. Still two layers.
They really like this backwards bed defense, right? They think it's centered a few blocks forward. This is the second map they've done it in a row. They come around the back, though, and drop TNT there. Your bed is, like, gone in an instant. Risky, but I like the mind games.
It's a risk reward, and look at this risk. Bachelor just sending it over, and unfortunately won't even make it to the dock of the boat here. So, Bachelor, a few players lost into the storm. It's about 7 minutes, or 6.5 rather, gone in map number 3. Those generators have already upgraded to stage 2, so the resources are going to start flowing.
Ooh. Another strong red attempt, TNT. They're chasing down one. The bed is exposed, like we said. This dangerous attempt, just trying, investing towards the bed break, but there's 4 defenders here, and there is no opportunity to be found for that Argos player. Now the jig is up. They know your bed's towards the back. We'll see what a second attempt looks like out of Argos here, but they're just trying to topple the top dogs. Like, if we're going to be in the bottom, you're coming with us.
It's a great idea. Just pull them down, try and grab some extra points for yourself, and that only benefits Bachelor, who has once again regained control of some of this mid-island pressure. Northside has started to expand to some of the side islands and grab some of those emerald generators. The question is going to be what they want to truly do. They're within reaching distance of earning a first place and a win here today, but it's going to take more than just a bed take. They're going to have to be solid on their PvP and communication.
Argos is attacking bases, they're building a house, they're on the main and side quest simultaneously. That's some real gamer action. In the meantime, Northside, I'll nerd out about the tech a little bit. We talked about the Bachelor defense tech. I like that they have the side Diamond Island congregating into one bridge. It's just a lot less to keep an eye out for, especially if somebody were to connect to your island. But that's just again, simplifying things, keeping things strong in terms of them themselves getting sieged. But exactly what Bachelor, instead of just going for that mid-island, is now starting to branch out elsewhere to get this multifaceted exec towards the ship. See if they can capsize their bed defense, and even then they're now defending their own bridge building to a T. That's a lot of resources that just got dropped off. Thank you.
That's just going to help them further. They've got the golden apples. They've got this 2-tiered offense. I think one of the interesting things, poor guy drops off the map, but one of the interesting things about this map is how far away those side islands actually are. They look a lot closer than they are, but it's a long distance to try and go across open space, and look at this. Argos is just building.
Yeah, we know that they're a TNT rush team, and this is just really nice defense. I don't think they realized that he wasn't knocked off just yet, so a little re-clear coming in from Bulldog 4 here. And that is huge. Right now, they know that your bed's kind of vulnerable. They know exactly where to drop the TNT from. That's when you'll see, especially with these sails and this scaffolding. It's really nice to play around. But meantime, House looking strong from Argos. You need to cap off the roof, guys. You're gonna get rained on. But outside of that, nice clay defense on the bed. I feel like Northside is the one that's, I think, lacking the most in terms of their actual bed coverage. And I think that's why Bachelor has had an interest in them since early game. And, oh, I'm seeing a lot of green kills onto yellow. This could be huge. Towards the Northside island, maybe. Where are these kills happening?
They rushed him and just were unsuccessful. Argos is going to try the same
Obsidian?
thing. Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. This is... You need a diamond pickaxe to get through this. You have no hope otherwise. They realize, okay, we were a bit too close for comfort, but also now the team knows you have obsidian, number one. Number two, this is also a very huge just mentality shift out of Bachelor, right? Previously, they would go for, you know, diamond armor, diamond axes, diamond swords, ender pearls, right? To get that very aggressive approach. But now they're like, guys, we have a stark lead. Let's just defend it here. And honestly, I'm here for it. They're winning a lot of the engagements anyways without that better weaponry. So just trust in their PvP skills a little bit more. And wait a minute. And because of that, you can also, yeah, look at this. You can lend a lot of players off of the island because it buys you a lot more time.
It just burns down the time from the others. I mean, we're under 10 minutes to go. Halfway through our final map here of week 3. Indiana Esports Network for some middle school action. Nice takedown from 04 there from Northside. They're trying to control all of this mid zone. I think for Northside, though, the idea has to be we've got to take down both. We need to take down both Argos and Bachelor and scoop up some of those final eliminations as well. If we don't, we're at risk of falling into second place. Argos is kind of a wrench into their plans, but you might be able to attack them from an interesting angle. Bachelor is sending a lot of players out mid.
Yep, that's what you get. The leisurely kind of necessity of the obsidian. It allows you to have 4 players off the island, and you really don't have to worry about it for a while. Because by the time you're done and you've died, you've respawned, and they're breaking the obsidian still. And in the meantime, it does feel like I want to see Bachelor get on the same page for an exec attempt. That's something Argos has done well, I would say. It's just been a little scrappy once they actually get onto the island itself. In the meantime here, may see once again the unintentional cross-teaming. We saw this attempted, if you remember the little crouch TNT play. But yeah, having none of it, saying you're trying to attack us from the side. Yeah, no, we're going to deal with you from the front. Actually, they're protecting their enemy. Like, don't worry, Argos, we got you.
Saving away, and now maybe even looking to go on to Northside, who still has very, very minimal defense for themselves. Emerald Generators now under 8 minutes to go will upgrade to tier 2. So a chance for even more resources with all of that mid control. The Bulldogs of Bachelors, well, they're very close. They've got 2 players here.
They have a Bose fam posted up, so if you try and push them, they're like, we're gonna knock you off the island with either our fireballs or our arrows. And honestly, this Argos wall that has been built is helping them more than anything, just to keep these players at bay. But this is Bachelor we're talking about. They wait for the distraction, then they go for it, but it feels like it's, again, mistimed, miscommunicated, or, I mean, they're gonna get at least through here. There's no resources, though. They're still just kind of playing distraction. Doesn't look like they had shears in hand, or a way to get through this minimal bed defense from north side. So, again, just defensive prowess. Hello.
Love the stare down.
Hey, guys. Like, don't worry, Argos. You guys got 1 point.
Just jumps through them, ready to go backwards, and Argos still trying to fight their way through some of this edgeline defense. And the Bulldogs of Bachelor, they're still just onslaughting this base as Northside tries to repair anything, but yeah, Argos waiting for a backstab attempt.
I mean, what is it? The enemy of my enemy is my friend, and we are gonna see them together decide to try and dismantle Northside altogether. But again, it feels like they don't have communication because you're on different teams. You don't have a chat to talk with, so both just went for the full PvP aspect. Nobody was trying to break into the bed defense, and again, it falls flat. So Northside lives to fight another day, now having to deal with what it feels like is both teams when they're not even the middle team here. It's like Bachelor is taking pity upon Argos in this situation.
We're just realizing the strengths that, combining as a mutual friendship does to try and take down Northside, who is that second place team right now. That is a monster of a defensive structure with some obsidian in there. They've got some of that glass for extra TNT defense to take down extra chunks. And for Argos, we'll see what they want to do as they send back towards mid. Bachelor, very aggressive. 5 minutes and some change left to go for them to extend their lead, not only on this game, but also on the season. We talk about a 2-0 team entering this week. They're definitely in a great spot to extend that, and there goes the red bed of Argos.
Oh, the side island from Generator attempting like a thief in the night. He's gone. Yeah, definitely went in towards that back angle. He mentioned the sneakiness you can have. You can see them contemplating their now destroyed bed like, oh no. And now, I mean, with those points up in the air, oh no, Argos, they've lost one of their only points on the board. Esports 5 falling out of the map. That is going to hurt. And now I feel like any Alliance Bachelor may have had with these squads is definitely going to be moot, right? Those are points instead of an ally for a bed siege. I think 1 point went to Bachelor, -1 to Argos. And Northside, even though they got the bed break, that's now they have to rush for these final 2. Oh, there it is, another one to Bachelor. So
I will say, that does make the game pretty interesting for Northside. If they can take down Bachelor's bed and all of these kills, that could change the game. A nice drop down. The fall damage is really going to hurt as Northside starts chunking through a lot of the Bachelor offense that is there. It's basically now a 1v1 in straight up teams, but Argos has one more player left to go as well.
thinking back to that wholesome collaboration on the bridge, you can see one lone knight of Argos maybe help take down Northside alongside their previous allies, Bachelor, that has now massacred their friends. It's a storyline definitely end off the round 3 action, and you can see now their fortress now abandoned. The final Argos player trying to just turtle up because they don't want to give that vital point away. You can't fall off the island because then that hurts your team. maybe they weren't fit for the pirate life. Maybe they're fit for the I don't want to call it the spy life. What is it when you're like on the run hiding? I feel like what lifestyle would that be?
I guess like, I don't want to say like criminal because that's not really right, but like some sort of evadee, who knows? Trying to live their second life instead of the one their parents forced upon them as being a pirate in the 1600s.
Okay. For now. Yet to see. So a heavy contribution between Northside and Bachelor, but it does just feel like they're fairly well matched here. I will say, I feel like Bachelor's island has been made a mess of because of the Argos early game attempts, and on the other side, Northside's a little bit simpler, maybe easier to locate and destroy that bed because of how simple the defense is. And you can see in these last few minutes, they're like, all we need is like a sub-minute bed break, and the Bachelor need to be expanded. Because again, this isn't just we need to win week 3. This is we need the most points in the overall season. So these 5 points now may seem unimportant, but they can come back at you. And because Bachelor has that Obsidian, which by the way, Argos knew they had Obsidian. I don't know if Northside knows. That's why there's now 3 players off the island going for what could be a final team collaborative siege towards the Northside island.
It's a really interesting chess game here to finalize it out for Northside. You mentioned those 5 points from the bed break. If they could break Bachelor's bed, that's a tongue twister. They could earn themselves another 5 points, re-extend the lead, but they allow their bed to get shattered. Bulldog 2 on the pickaxe, and there it goes. Bachelor ties up the bed breaking, and now they're on the hunt for all of those extra final kills. For Northside, no chance to respawn, purling in and purling out, straight off the boat.
Oh, wow. That's just quick, efficient. Now they're trying to hunt for these final kills. Oh, gonna definitely siege for now, but they don't know there's a threat lurking in the hull of a ship trying to break back out, but they have 2 minutes to find their way out and find these kills. Are you even allowed to break those blocks?
I don't think so.
Are they trapped? You might not be able to. They might be trapped. Did they ender pearl their way in there by accident when trying to ender pearl out? They're stuck, bro. They ain't getting out.
Try and get your teammate to pass you an ender pearl. Here comes Northside and blowing up the Argos base that was already blown to bits. So a little bit of salt in the wound, so to say, is working together. Northside has got 2 players left to go. They're sticking with one another, but at some point, Bachelor is just going to run you down from behind with a wooden sword. You've got to be kidding me. Off the edge they go. There's the first, and 1 more to go here. The wooden sword does 1 in, and 1 left to survive. It is Northside who are completely taken out of the map.
Have we found this final red player anywhere? So it's Where's Waldo, especially with the red, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're not on their island. I don't know why this is the feeling that I'm getting. I don't see any deposits of wool. Can we get a little like TP to said player, you know? I feel like
where could you be hiding? Right there.
Oh, there they are! They've been spotted and they're on the run! No more alliances between Argos and Bachelor. This ends now. 30 seconds left to go. Oh.
The drop-down fight here. The final one of the day here for Bachelor to just clean things up. No chance to run, and off the edge they will go. A -1 to the overall score.
No.
But Bachelor with another clean victory. Going to be 3-0 on the season. And you talked about the cumulative scoring. They are just going to be far and away from their competition.
Yeah, not as clean as week 1 or week 2 with their plus 40, but I think this will be a little over 30 if I'm not mistaken once the final numbers are there. It's hard to track in a live moment, guys, but all in all, I think Argos ends in a -1 because I think that final jump off the map did count. Or sorry, I think it'll end at 0-0 because that final one, green did damage, so then by green will get the point. Versus Argos, I think one player fell off undamaged, untouched, so that would be their one earned point canceled out, unfortunately. I mean, hey, at least you didn't lose any of the points from the previous weeks, right?
Yeah, you went net 0, and I think from Argos, trying some different things, trying some different strategies from game number 1 to game number 3, tried turtling, and Bachelor is very good about slipping behind, and Northside too, about just destroying that bed early on, and you know, for Northside, even though they're going to walk away with a second here, a lot of additional points there, especially going into maps 2 and 3 in somewhat of an awkward position on their starter bed position. So being able to generate that just feels so good.
Absolutely. They feel like they have a good grasp on like how to adapt, how to fix their mistakes, like both map to map and in the actual matchups themselves. Look back to Bachelor, right? They almost got completely obliterated with their fake bed, big brain play, and what do they do next? They invest instead into the Obsidian, when previously map 1 and map 2, when there wasn't that kind of threat, that scare, they were investing more heavily into the diamond resources, which they still got in the super late stage, and we're still able to leverage into those additional bread breaks. But all in all, I think, again, Northside showing that they have the growth and they have the ability to be that really heavy contention team that we saw in the preseason. Bachelor continue their dominance, and Argos still, we'll have to see that big turnaround. I mean, honestly, I think this was a team that did fly under the radar. I want to say last season as well. Didn't get too many points for seeding, but then flew through the playoffs, right? Because if I remember, in playoffs, you don't need to win. You just need to be like that second team to advance, and then you get to the finals. So hey, you don't have to be the best. You have to be stable, and I can see that out of Argos.
Yeah, and I think the early strategies, especially going into map number 1, the idea of we're going to play defensive, and then we're going to sense out what everybody else wants to do. I mean, every lobby is going to be different, especially through the regular season, but more so as we get into playoffs, you're going to be walking into teams who have different ideas, who want to attack you different ways. So just getting a sense, taking a breath the first 2 minutes and saying, you guys do your thing, we'll do ours, and then we'll make a decision from there, is I think a pretty powerful mindset.
Absolutely. Well, with that, again, we mentioned it's chaotic to track the points, the scores, and all, but they will be updated thanks to one of our amazing sponsors, League OS Portal. So you'll be able to see not just the week 3 standings, but how everything overall for the entire regular season is chalking up. Big shout out once again to Landfest, who not just does the Indiana Esports Network, but has charters all around the United States, supports multiple scholastic regions, both in high school and this was middle school. And of course, shout out to Zotac, just an insane gaming company, also supporting scholastic esports in Indiana. So, love it. That was an insane week 3 game. I think that was a great way to jump back into the Bed Wars action for my first time this season. What did you make of it?
Oh, it's so fun. I mean, this action to showcase some of the middle schoolers and, you know, maybe a non-traditional esports title that they're able to kind of grind into the off-season, and all that practice and preparation they've been putting in has just been super fun to watch. And you know what? I'm excited to see the matchups that are going to come in the weeks to follow, but you guys should be too at home. If you want to make sure you hit that follow button, turn on the notifications so you can be ready and willing to go every single time Esports Indiana goes live. Make sure you get that. Check out all the socials and check out all of our sponsors as well. But that's all we had. One best of 3 series done and dusted for Llama77, Zobi, and our entire crew in the background from Landfest. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. in, should get it in time and will get the teleport to the bottom side of the base. How far can they dig? Only one block before they get ruthlessly demolished in a 2v1.
Defend their bed, and that's exactly what they're able to do. No bachelor, prowess to be demonstrated this time around.
You mentioned best of 3. A chance here in a 2v1 coming from behind with a diamond.
Let's see a little spy attempting to sneak up here. It's actually a TNT blitz out of north side. They've had a distraction from mid. The bed is exposed. Player 5 just has to make their way around, but they blown themselves up. And just like that, in the nick of time, Bachelor. And here it comes, the moment of reckoning. And that's exactly what you want to do, draw those players off. And then where was the second one? There was a disconnect, a miscommunication.
Oh, man. And a chance to go in is now. They're dropping in. They've got the first destruction. The bed is exposed, but both players die. Out. They're getting back control, and we've got a full 3-team skirmish.
This is the first time we've seen them all just duking it out turf war style for this middle island, but because there was enough damage done against the green player, against the Argos player, it's a coin lead. As Argos was consistently kind of just threatening their mid bridge, they needed an access point or a distraction. Look at this, they're on the bed. Oh.
Argos is looking for something of their own. They take a kill first, jumped in a 2v1, and slowly eating away at this base. Argos is gonna be cut down, trapped in.
They don't know they're there.
And Argos is attacking from the front side, so why would they turn around? They don't need to look behind. They're all focused forward, and they've got the first play of Argos goes down. The second is chopped to bits, and now they'll go, but immediately seen away. The pickaxe try, the TNT won't even be.
Right, you were chasing back Bachelor, and they were looking for that opportunity to get through, and unfortunately, it is a clean sweep. It looks like for Argos towards the mid-island, unless Bachelor has something to say about it. It's one player remaining for each.
Oh, 2, so the resources are gonna start flowing.
Ooh. Another strong red attempt, TNT, they're chasing down 1. The bed is exposed, like we said, this dangerous attempt, just investing towards the bed break, but there's 4 defenders here, and there is no... Oh.
The drop-down fight here, the final one of the day here for Bachelor to just clean things up. No chance to run, and off the edge they will go.